Okay, so today is Christmas Day 2024. It is Wednesday. Right now it's 11:30 a.m. in the morning. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if you celebrate. For me, I really like Christmas, and it's been a long time. And I don't know why I had so much connection with Christmas, even though I didn't grow up with it. And it's a good thing because any holiday that you can enjoy is always great. So in the US, of course, the celebration is a lot more. When I grew up in India, other than just the Christmas Day as a holiday, our school used to be off. I remember one day. There was not much we did, and there was no social media or anything, so you didn't really know much about it. So now, of course, it has a different meaning to it since I go to church and study Bible here and there, so it has a different meaning to it. And my shirt is a little dirty. I'm sorry. I made some energy square this morning. I didn't change the shirt since then. I ran out of all the materials, but then I bought them from Amazon. They were a little late, so all the materials came yesterday. So I really wanted to make them because they are good for low-calorie snack. Energy squares are something like energy balls that you probably have seen online. People try to make them as a ball, and I kind of go a little lazy with that. Instead of making the balls, I just cut them up. You make it, put it in the fridge or freezer, and you cut them up, and then they're ready. You just bag them in a Ziploc bag, and they're ready for snack. Or a lot of time I use them as a breakfast, one or two with my coffee, and that turns out pretty good. So I did that. Before that was my daughter. She opened Christmas presents and she had fun. And this year Christmas was a little different, and different doesn't always mean bad. Different means, we could always look at the brighter side of things. And if your Christmas is different this year than your prior years, I would say the same thing to you. Build a new thing, build a new tradition, build a new tradition. Like for us, I made some steak yesterday, and I used to make Thanksgiving turkey and mashed potatoes and stuffing and all the Thanksgiving thing again and Christmas. But I'm thinking from now on, I think the light is too bright in the back, but hopefully it's okay because I won't go too long today. So I used to make all of that, and then Thanksgiving I'll still make them starting next year. But for Christmas, I thought, why not change up the tradition a little bit? So I think starting next year I'll make steak because I really love steak. I never ate it in India. It's funny, but here I came in 2005, and I first tasted steak in 2007, and oh my God, I loved it so much. I'm like, why didn't I eat it before? So anyway, so I'm thinking starting next year I'll start the tradition of steak for Christmas. And traditions are actually really good, even for our minds, because they say that helps you to look forward to something. You look forward to the holiday and stuff like that. And it doesn't have to be once a year. You can create tradition for something once a week. Like I drink tea, Indian tea, on Saturday mornings. Last couple of weeks it has been a little different with different things. But generally for years, I drink coffee every day, but Saturday morning, I drink Indian tea. It's made with dry tea leaves and milk and sugar and cardamom If you don't know what cardamom is, you can look it up. Cardamom and ginger. A lot of time I use a little ginger too. And after it's made, it kind of tastes a little bit like latte. So that's what at least like my American friends who are not so used to it, they like it too. And they say it tastes like latte. So anyway, so that's a tradition. So what happens is a tradition. You kind of look forward to that, and also it kind of creates those nice memories because you have friends and family visiting you and you do that, that creates a nice memory. And yeah, I remember when a friend said that it tastes like latte. It was 2-3 years ago. So anyway, that's the point. So you can call it tradition, you can call it ritual. Tony Robbins talks about ritual when you're building good habit. He says, and that is something I thought was so powerful. I listened to it the other day. It was part of one of the videos where, and these days it's hard to know if it was really Tony or one of those AI channels that mimicked his voice, because these days there's so many AI channels that they mimic either Tony Robbins' voice or Joe Dispenza. But I think it doesn't matter as long as it resonates. So anyway, so this message, I don't know exactly if it's Tony's or it's one of the AI channels, because the voices are so similar, you'd almost think that it's them. Anyway, so the message was that, let's say if you are trying to build habit to go to the gym, or you're trying to build habit, I don't know, to write a book or whatever that is, he says make it a ritual rather than willpower. Willpower is good, but rituals are stronger than willpower, because willpower is what helps us to build a habit. Ritual is what helps us to build a habit for the longer term. Willpower will get you far, but only so far, because when things are difficult or challenging, willpower may not sustain. So in some way, if I were to think, so willpower will get you to do a sprint. Ritual will get you to do a marathon. And ritual, again, also goes with sort of consistency, how I'm trying to make this video no matter what, every single day. Some days when it's extremely busy, I try to make sure even there is one short video. So, and actually I learned by doing it. It's been 7 months. It's been incredible. It's been incredible because even if there is a challenging day, I have been focusing on the good rather than bad, because we all have good and bad in life. It's where we focus on. And then when I am sharing the videos, sometimes you guys have seen that I share the raw, like, the sadness or whatever is going on in my life. At the same time, I still try to focus on the good, because there is still some good in my life. I'm sitting in my house where I have roof over my head. I have this clean drinking water right here in front of me. So, there are blessings all around us. We just gotta, acknowledge that, remember that. So this videos works as a reminder for me, because I'm kind of, paying attention to those. And not only that, I think I started living life so much in the present moment since I started these videos. What I mean by that is, when I'm taking a shower, I'm like really focusing the sound of the water and the sound of the water, the smell, and the temperature of the water. In the past, I'd be like, taking a shower, I'll be thinking the next thing. And that's how our life most of the time is. We're always focusing on the next, and we are not living in the present moment, because life goes by so fast. My daughter, she's now 8. In a couple months, she'll be 9 years old. I remember when she was 1, as if like yesterday. So time flies, right? They have a saying for the kids that, what is the thing? It says, days are long, but years are short. And it is true. So, you want to live your life. You want to smell it, you want to taste it, every experience that you have. So build rituals, build traditions, and then you'll have something to look forward to, especially if this Christmas is different. I'm glad that randomly I thought about next Christmas. I don't know, I may change it because I do plan on continuing this video. So if you are on this journey with me, you'll know by next Christmas, 12/25/25, if I'm going with steak or I am going to make turkey. I don't know. I think I'll do the steak, but anyway. And also it is possible that I might do a little Christmas party. I don't know if it'll be in my house or it will be at a friend's place. We'll find out. There's a lot more time to go from now till then. 1 year, 365 days. Well, one other thing I wanted to share. So this morning when I was making the energy squares, I was listening to, a video on YouTube. And again, I don't know if it was AI, whatever the message is, but I tend to listen to this kind of videos, sometimes TED Talks, sometimes from YouTube, sometimes from Insight Timer app, because this helps me to keep my mind focused in a positive zone. So the message was that, a lot of time when we try to wait for the perfect moment to start anything, either it's a business, either it's going to the gym, either it's starting to eat healthy, either it is, working for the next promotion, working for a job, or whatever that is, we wait for the time to be perfect. If you think of it, nothing is perfect. Perfection doesn't exist, but we define that when I get to 1, 2, 3, then it will be time for me. Number 4 is this. And we ourselves decide, okay, this is the perfect situation for this, right? So what I mean by that is I'll go with an example. So say I talk about my weight loss quite a bit. Hopefully I have a bet now in the next 3 months, I have to lose ideally 20 pounds. That was my weight a long time ago, and I want to get there. If you guys have any encouragement, any thing, please let me know in the comments. And this one, I really, really want to win this bet because of I can inspire some people by doing that. But anyway, so I am being very careful with what I eat, and I'm a big planner. So when it comes to planning, there is a quote by Abraham Lincoln, I think, said it, that if you want me to chop down a tree in 6 hours, I'm going to sharpen the axe for 4 hours. So what that means is when you want to execute something, planning actually does play a big factor. It's like 4 hours you'll be sharpening it, and 2 hours it will chop down the tree. Because if you try with different axes that are not sharp, you might keep trying one after another, and then in 6 hours might pass by, you won't be able to achieve your goal. I know that it doesn't resonate with everybody. Different people does things differently. I'm a big planner to the point. Some of it also on a little extreme. But end of 2024, like now, I print a calendar for 2026. Yes, you heard me right, 2026, because 2025 was already printed a while ago. So I try to plan, not each and every detail, but sort of the next 1 year, what I'm gonna do and stuff like that. The big goals. I don't say too many things, maybe 4 or 5 big things that I'm gonna do. And I kind of plan it like a quarter. Okay, this quarter I'll try to achieve this. Next quarter I'll try to achieve this. And if something seems like very long term that I won't be able to get to in 2025, I put it for 2026. So anyway, so that shows like how big planner I am. So with that, in the next 3 months, how I'm gonna lose it when I have some events. Like this afternoon, I actually am going to be attending a Christmas dinner with my Toastmasters group, and it's very kind of them. They invited me, and also my Bible study group, one of the family, they invited me. But I said yes to the things, to the Toastmasters group first. So that's very kind of them, kind and generous of people to invite others who are not really, they're family-like, we're family-like, but not real, blood family. So for people to do that, so I'm very, very grateful that they did that. So I'll be attending that. So going to a party or dinner, there's always a little extra eating. So I have a planned how I'm gonna get there to that weight. And again, I try to give myself a little buffer. So ideally by end of February, if not definitely by mid-March is what I'm targeting. I'm not waiting until end of March so that I win the bet. So what I was going with that is the perfection that, okay, next week will be perfect for me to start eating healthy, or next week will be perfect for me to go to the gym because this week I have this and this and this. There's always little something we can do. What is that little something? You have to find out. Like today when I go to the dinner, I'll try my best to not eat the way I normally used to. And I actually have been doing this quite a bit, because when I go to my Bible study group, they have snack. And the other day when I had a bunch of snacks, I didn't feel good about it because I'm on this weight loss journey. And then I created a rule for me, and rules and rituals, you can kind of think of it similar way. I'm like, okay, next time I go, I am going to choose 2 snacks, because they usually have 5, 6, 7, 8 different kind of snacks. No more than 2 snacks, and I'm going to choose out of all of that. And the next I'll get to 1 until I lose that weight. Anyway, so the point is, whatever you are starting, you're planning to start, you want to go to gym, and say you can't go to the gym, and you can always do a little bit at home. Like today, for example, it's Wednesday. I created some gym days, like 4 days a week. And I was thinking to go to the gym for a little bit. Unfortunately, it's closed today, but guess what? But that doesn't mean that I don't have to do, or I can do. On the YouTube, I can play the walk at home or Zumba or whatever, 10 minutes, even 10, 15 minutes, even 5 minutes, right? That's the consistency. And that's what I want to get to, because this morning, this video, they talked about, like, somebody who does exercise 5 minutes a day versus like, and in a year, like, with that consistency, they actually would lose more weight versus if somebody does 1 hour once a month. So I think the concept is because it builds as a habit, and then you just miss it, and you actually end up doing more than 5 minutes. Because I remember after a long time, not a long time, because I always exercise somewhere or the other, but this time when I went to gym, it was after a while, because before that it was before pandemic. And so when I went to the gym, I exercised from YouTube in between during the pandemic, but 20 minutes at the treadmill seemed like so long, and almost felt like I was tired. I didn't have the stamina. I couldn't do beyond that. And then now I can go 40, 45 minutes easily, and even a couple times I went up to 60 minutes. So, it's a walk and run, not always constantly running. But the point is, it becomes a habit, and then you end up doing more. So at the end of it, I think it's like don't wait for the perfect moment, because you can define what is perfect for you. This is my daughter's bookshelf, little plastic bookshelf, and a bunch of books there. This is sort of her playroom. She has a bunch of play stuff in here. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying your Christmas with your family and friends, and somehow if it is different, set new tradition. You can even, I don't know, if you're into Christmas movies, watch a Christmas movie, or um, do something that uplifts you, even if it is for 5 minutes. Um, it will make a difference. If you're waiting to write a book, you're waiting to start a website, you're waiting to start yoga or mindfulness practice, whatever that is. It and no matter what happened in our life, never forget, you're extraordinary. You are extraordinary. You are extraordinary. And sometimes you got to say that to yourself, the affirmation, because the world, sometime either with words, sometime either with gestures, or so many ways, people could tell us that we're not good enough. But if you believe in God or universe, it's always between you and God, or between you and the universe. People all around us, whoever is saying things, it is their opinion. It is. You don't have to believe that. You can believe that you are special. If you believe in God, you are special in God's eyes. And if if you don't believe in God, then also we are all special, and we are all wonderfully unique. And it's our job to find out what is that uniqueness in us, so that we can share with the world. This past year, I have done so many things. I have learned from so many books. I have attended many events and some sort of training and whatnot. And from one of the things I learned, there was a question, I might have shared it in some video. One of the question was, what will you tell your 5-year self, 5 years self? And you can say only one thing. What is that one thing is going to be? And so in that question, it says, think about it for a while and answer that question. And I did. It was that I would tell my 5-year self to be more grateful. And it surprised me. The answer surprised me, because when I was growing up at the time, my dad died when I was 6. He had a natural death. He had stroke, and he died. In 17 days, he was in the hospital. So that was pretty sad. But at the time, I didn't even understand the impact of it. But anyway, that's a story for a different day. But so it surprised me. And then we were like 6 kids and my mom. So, and from United States perspective, we lived paycheck to paycheck. And in India, that's kind of middle class. That's how many families are. That poor in India is, I don't know. It's hard to imagine from here, like what poor is. But anyway, because we were poor from that perspective. So the point is that it surprised me that after so many experiences in life and going through so many things, I'm in 40s now. So, I worked for 20 years, corporate job. And how that came to my mind. And then the answer on the book says that is your unique gift to share with the world. And I kept thinking, how do you share gratitude with the world? And I had discussed that with several of my good friends, and one wise woman, she said that, it was 4 or 5 years ago, I did gratitude wall at one of the workplaces I used to work, and I did it at home too this year. And that's when the other videos you see, there's post-its behind me. In the other videos, you'd see the morning journal. Usually I sit on the table and the post-its are on the back. Those are all gratitude cards written by me and some from my daughter. So So I keep thinking about it, and the other day, it actually randomly came to my mind that you asked that on ChatGPT. ChatGPT, our best friend, all of our best friend AI. And I asked, and it said how you can share the gratitude with people. There are so many ways. One simple ways is like, by doing the good things, like you could volunteer in places where you can be. When you're listening to a person, be right there present with them and help people you don't know. The strangers, help the strangers. And then, if you're in a drive-through, pay for the coffee for the person behind you. These are ways that basically we can, being kind to others and inspire others to be kind in the world. And that is the way to share gratitude, because I couldn't really understand, and I thought, oh, that's really nice. And there were some other answers too, but those are what just came to my mind. So knowing that can change our life, that going to that early stage in life and telling us what we want to do, I thought that was amazing, because sometimes we ourselves don't know what's in us that we can help others with. So ask that question to yourself. What will you tell yourself when you were 5 years old? If you had the chance to go back and tell yourself, what would you say? That could be your special gift to share with the world, or you could find it out the other way. But I believe that we all have some special, unique, good qualities that is worth sharing with everybody you come across in your life. So more we focus on that, our cup or bucket or tank, whatever you want to call it. Yesterday I covered that in the video, is that our bucket gets full, and through that, when our bucket is full, it overflows. And that's like the happiness. When you have happiness that is overflowing, then you are sharing those happiness people around you, and it just grows. And there's a saying in Dale Carnegie book, I think he says, double the joy, half the sorrow. So when you're sharing, the joy always grows, and when you're going through sadness, that actually shrinks, because you're sharing it with people, and people are uplifting you, and so you might be uplifting other people too if they are going through some sadness. So going back to, I guess, two things I talked about today, mostly one is that don't wait for the perfect time, because we define what is perfect. You can define that today is the perfect day. Christmas Day 2025 is a perfect day for you to start the thing that you have been thinking to start for a long time, and start a ritual. And that might be your ritual, right? Like once a week or once a month, whatever you're gonna do, the ritual will help you to run a marathon. You can call it even consistency, right? Like for me, some of the goals that I have set, this I do every day, but I don't get to do everything every day. Like for example, gym, I won't be able to do 7 days a week. So I kind of created a rule for me that 4 days a week. So, and that's my rules or rituals, whatever you want to call it, as for a gym. Because what it does with that is that the date and time, as it rotates weekly, it reminds us to keep doing that so that we don't give up. Like some practices, for let's say if I go for a vacation or something for 2 weeks, I come back, I'm like, okay, Monday, Tuesday is my healthiest eating day, because normally on the weekend you eat a little unhealthy, and then Monday, Tuesday is the absolute healthy eating day, and then exercise too, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, those are the 4 days I think I planned to exercise. And some days if I skip it, I do it on the weekend or something. Also, like if I skip it, then I can fit it into another day. But it goes with everything. Like I have a few other goals that I have written down. Like in a month, actually by end of next month, I'm gonna start a mastermind group with 3 of my other friends. And I started doing it myself a little bit Sunday afternoons. I kind of do it a little bit weekly, not every week. And then it is really good because you kind of plan ahead and see what you're gonna do. And then with my friends, what we're gonna do is we were gonna be sort of like accountability partners for all four of us. And as life happens, we might not be able to meet, all four might not be able to meet, excuse me, every time, every month. As the last Sunday of the month, we thought we'll do last Sunday of the month in the afternoons. And that way, even if all four can't attend, there's somebody else, like, one versus, like, even if there's 2 or 3 people, we're like, going with it and we're helping each other. And if you have friends too, do that. Like, look it up, what mastermind is, from Napoleon Hill. He wrote that book, Think and Grow Rich, 100 years ago, almost 100 years ago. And that concept is really, really good to achieve the goals that you'd set for yourself. You would help your friend and they will help you. You can start it just as 2 people. You can start by yourself. The concept is also that you make it a ritual. Like if you're doing once a month, once a week, whatever works, you're kind of focusing on that thing, that goal. Okay, what am I based on the plan I did? And it helps you to get there faster. Because if you think of it, it's not about being driven. It's also about, when we set our goals, the goals are something that makes us happy. And you can say that, okay, when we reach the goal, I don't know, either if it's a promotion or whatever, you stay happy for a little bit, and then that honeymoon period is over, and then, you're looking for the next thing. But it's not bad. That's normal human being thing. You can't, like, just be there and you don't want anything, then you'll become a monk who wants only inner peace, right? Inner peace is great, but at the same time, we are normal human beings, so we do want some things. I saw one of the viewers, and it was pretty interesting. I think you said, like, we talked about, on one of the videos, I said we talked about, I feel like as if I'm talking to you guys already, even though I don't know you personally and you don't know me personally, but thank you for your comments. One person said about happiness, right? Like, I was talking about how our definition of happiness changes over time based on the experiences, based on our age and where we are in life, etc. And one person said, I think you can still be happy when you're older, when you get a toy. And I know that a lot of time, guys, even in your 40s, 50s, you can still be happy with a toy. I don't know, like either the VR set or whatever, right? So yeah, and that could really be true. Like, there could be other people who are happy with a little, I don't know, a guitar or something like that. Older people can be that's a toy for them. And that's what I mean by that, like, other than inner peace. And somebody said meeting great people. Yes, like for me, yeah, the little happiness even comes from, like, it's the bucket fillers. Like, travel is great. And then, like going out with my friends to have coffee, that fills my bucket. There's videos when I make them, they make, they fill my bucket. And, little things, sometimes the little things, intellectual conversation, fills my bucket, because I love good intellectual discussions. And then also like watching great videos, like TED Talks. These are my things, watching amazing TED Talks. Now, if I do too many of them, watching TED Talks, then it becomes like, okay, I don't want too many of them. But some of them are like amazing because I feel like it makes me very, I don't know, creative, and then I can be more creative. It's almost like people who like to read books, and then they just like to read books, and they write a book, and then they might read 20 books, and then they extract things from that, change it up, and then they write their book. Like even Stephen King, who is very popular, even he says it does that, right? Like I think I read somewhere, and many writers, that's what they do. So I think for me, it's like when I watch those either YouTube, the great talks by Tony Robbins. These days I have been following Dan Martell quite a bit on YouTube, and then TED Talks I've been watching for so long already. Tony Robbins actually I've been following for years. I don't even know how long. So yeah, I think it opens up the section of my brain that normally stays closed. So those are wonderful. So yeah, anyway, I talked quite a bit. What time is it? Almost 12 something. Yeah, 12:05. 35 minutes I talked. So anyway, I'm gonna, I think, take a shower, and I have to rest up a little bit. I didn't sleep too well last several nights, so I'm gonna rest up a little bit and then go to my Toastmasters group with them to spend Christmas. And I will make a video tomorrow morning. I don't know if I'll make any shorts later. I'll see. I don't know. Those are always unplanned. But tomorrow morning I'll definitely be back. Okay, bye. Have a wonderful Merry Christmas. And make a ritual, new tradition this Christmas.